If you're just arriving to this video,
then you are about to be bored. Oh dear. Here's the story. Julie is pretending to eat all of the boneless chicken wings at chain locations in the state of Florida, United States of America, and she's already done part 1, and this is part 2, and I reacted to part 1, and I promised to react to part 2, and here it is, and it's really, really boring. However, I gotta keep my promise, so, Julia uses too many music choices, and so to help the monetization over here, I had to cover it all up with the Domik music service Dopey theme, and I'll give you some of it right here. Holy cow, that's enough of that! So, what you get with the cacophony of fighting music in the background is that, given that the Dopey music is so soft, it sort of cancels out the other music, and just give it a chance for a minute and a half, because your brain will tune out the background music. You can hear Julia clearly. At first it's very confusing, yet just give it a minute, and your brain will tune out the background music, and you'll be able to just listen to Julia, and you can hear her fine, too. And the overall effect is somewhat dreamy, that if you could find out what it's like if you remove all the background music, and it's sort of like an isolated vocal, if you're into those things.
I found the simple life, it's so simple.
For music tracks. And, although it's not, because you get two different types of music fighting each other. Anyway, just give it a try. I'm making this because I promised that I would do it. And I'll give you, like, one thing here. We're gonna find out why the camera is shooting in the dark half the time. So this reaction will at least reveal that. And then just hopefully give it a bit of a chance. You know, I'm just keeping my promise here, okay? There's like a few jokes. For the most part, it's pretty dull. I'm warning you in advance so you don't get angry and disappointed as if I'm clickbaiting or something. It's not a huge party. It's just pretty mediocre. So anyway, let's just see what we can do with it.
I have been ranking every single boneless wing across Florida.
Yes, you have. And you know what? Nobody really gives a rat's ass.
Trying to find the best one. I've already been to Wingstop.
Yes, you've been to Wingstop. And yes, you're dressed like you're from the hood. And no, you're not going to eat that garbage for real. And you're going to go back to your fancy luxury apartment because you're not really from the hood.
Hooters, Popeyes, Chili's, KFC, Domino's, Applebee's, Pizza Hut.
Holy cow, what are you going to do? Rerun the entirety of part 1? That is some really crappy camera work, by the way.
And Wendy's. That right there is the order of...
From time to time, Julia will reference this little list that she is building, and she's got Goo Squad at the top. Without J. Piers, who cares? It's not funny or fun. This is essentially the same product, like pizza, or like an entire chicken meal. There's some differences, yet these morsels of deep-fried chicken, which you then soak in sodium and artificial flavors, who cares?
The best to worst so far. Will Wingstop remain on top and Wendy's stay on the bottom? It's a new day.
Yes, it is a new day. And with you, it's same crap, different day, because you're shooting in the dark. Again. You're shooting in the dark. You're shooting in the dark. You're shooting in the dark!
I don't care, 'cause it's alright.
It's a new day. I got a new sweater on.
Shop HellthyJunkFood.com. If you want it, says Julia. The problem is, if nobody's paying attention to the channel, then even less people are going to actually pay money to dress up like the channel, especially when you're offering a hoodie that makes it look like you're running around in your pajamas!
HellthyJunkFood.com if you want it. I just made it to Zaxby's because they've got boneless wings. We're adding it to the list. I have no idea where it's going to be. You get an order of boneless wings. She shows up when the food arrives.
The dog shows up when the food arrives! Oh my goodness, that animal animals are always hungry, aren't they? Because they haven't figured out farming just yet. Oh, the dog's here. Oh, the food's here. Oh, that dog's such a rascal. Oh, Munchie, you just want that food. Yum, yum. Oh, the food. Things are out of control. I don't know what to say. Oh, the dog's here. She's striving after the food gets here. Oh, my goodness. Things are out of control. What are we going to do? Oh, Munchie, you just want some of that food, don't you? Julia, you are pitiful. That is so uncool. You're so cringe and pathetic. That's like grandpa humor. Oh, there's that dog again. I just want some to get that food. This is part 2, okay? I already addressed you teasing the dog in part 1. You're still doing it in part 2, okay? You can't have any of that food, and you don't give it any anyway. It's a bit of a risk, right? You could make Munchie sick by giving it some of that garbage that even you don't eat, and you don't give it any, and you're teasing it because it can't have any. What a schmuck you are. Let's just move on.
It's a little bit expensive for a 5-piece, but maybe it's worth it. Oh, those look nice. Reminded me a little bit of the Hooters, looking like a similar size. Munchie, what do you think?
I think you're a jackass, Julia. You're always teasing me with that junk. Either let me have some or stop playing this game. Besides that, dogs all get along better with guys.
Reach for the sky.
Because we all think that we're part of the pack. I used to think I was part of a pack with JP and Julia together. You're a drag. I'd rather be with JP. You asked.
From taking the first bite of this here Zaxby's boneless wing, this is freaking good. The problem is the price though. Wingstop is so cost effective, it's undeniable. Right now, Wingstop is doing 70-cent boneless wings. This 5-piece for almost $7 seems a little bit extra because you can get a 10-piece for $7 at Wingstop. But these are freaking killer.
Friggin' killer? Julia, you must be hanging around your fancy apartment, watching old Ken Domik videos looking for ways on how to do this. Because he talks like a 1980s teenager, even though he's poisoning himself with too much sugar, salt, fat, and booze, and he thinks that keeps himself current and hip. And you're doing the same thing. You're going to be 35 in like 10 minutes, and you don't talk this way in real life. When you're hanging out at the wine bar, you don't talk like this. Julia, you're so very much a perfect example of what cringe is.
Freaking killer, freaking killer, freaking killer, freaking killer.
Killer, 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 killer.
I think,
Killer. How many steps?
36,929 steps.
Killer. 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 Killer long day. Killer.
Freaking killer, freaking killer. And because you can get them fast food, grabbing them quickly.
Yes, it is boring. Please stick with it. Not because it's boring, yet because we're about to get to the answer as to why she's shooting in the dark half of the time. Right now, we got Julia with a micro expression. She's miserable. She's being shot in the dark by somebody else. She's wearing the merch of a dead channel. She's got a bag of garbage that she doesn't want to pretend to eat. And she's going to have to do it because she's stolen a channel that has junk food in the title, so she has to do it. You got a little list there on the right-hand side that nobody is remembering or caring about. And we're getting close to that bit with why she's shooting in the dark half the time. So please stay with it, at least for that.
To go, I'm gonna put them number 2. These are some good freaking boneless wings. This is kind of giving me tender vibes. This is the buffalo garlic, and the medium sauce is so good. They've got some extremely hot sauces, I guess. I'm gonna try those on a different day. Too bad they don't have Zaxby's in Naples, where I started this video, because I would have known much longer ago. Up next, more boneless wings. We're going to They have them. So grab and go. Thank you. Is it gonna be all the way at the bottom? We don't know till we try. 7-Eleven, your meat's coming on a skewer. It's actually looking really cool. Right now they're selling 8 boneless wings on a skewer for $6.
That is the reason why Julia is shooting in the dark about half the time. It went by pretty fast. We can go back if you missed it, so we'll explain it all. Here we go.
Boneless wings on a skewer.
It goes by very fast. Julia is shooting with her iPhone, which is set to auto exposure on her dashboard. And she's turning with both hands full to look at somebody else in the camera that they are holding. And then immediately things go in the dark.
For $6.
Now Julia is in the dark with her hands full. That's because somebody else is running the other camera. When she goes back to the other shot, she's in the light again. Here.
$38. Maybe the best price. And looking at these boneless wings, I'm digging this.
When Julia is talking to the iPhone on the dashboard, the scene doesn't move. When she turns to the human helping her while her hands are full, the scene does move a little bit because there's no room to set up a tripod. Plus, there is a human helping her with that shot. Here, it goes by quick that you do notice it.
Skewer situation. But is it quality chicken? It may be Tyson chicken.
The human that is helping Julia is operating her other camera, which is a fancy normal camera with all the professional settings. Thing is, it's not the Asian guy that she used to be with for more than a decade on the channel, and doesn't know how to handle all the settings because he hasn't been properly trained on it, and it's just, we believe to be a boyfriend who is more a romantic interest, we believe, than somebody who's totally into the channel and everything. And who is this human? We believe, without mentioning any names, that it might be the infamous... What was the name again? I forgot the name. What was the name?
True Slayer.
So now we know why Julia is shooting in the dark half the time. The reason is twofold. She's too stupid to run her own professional camera and she relies on the iPhone. Then she gives a professional camera to Truth Slayer without taking the time to show him how to run it properly. Now we know. And that's just from this totally random video from some other channel that we just accidentally stumbled upon. And without mentioning any names, Truth Slayer, apparently, from what we've heard, is in his 50s, and it doesn't matter because he's fit and trim and good looking and must be a lot of fun to be around. And we say congratulations to you, Truth Slayer, because now all of this, including the fabulous butt, is all yours. Just maybe you might want to ask her to spend a little more time on the photography so things look a little bit better over there. And you might also want to be careful because Julia stabbed JP in the back business-wise, so you might just, be very careful. We wish you all the best of luck, Truth Slayer, and we do look forward to your continued projects working with Julia, too.
You have to pay extra for the ranch and stuff, so I was really just going for the chicken on this one. The sauce is actually super duper spicy. It has like a really good tang. There's a good amount of chicken here, but there's a ton of breading. It's definitely a Tyson nugget, but with a good sauce on there. And it's definitely not something that I hate, but it's not going to be a go-to.
Do you know what else is not a go-to? The ridiculous idea that anybody with any sense is going to make the decision to consult with Julia as to what brand of boneless chicken wings they're going to purchase. Who cares? Chicken wings and boneless chicken wings are chicken wings and boneless chicken wings. They're just not even worth talking about. Who cares about her stupid list? Are you worried about boneless chicken wings? Buy them at the grocery store. Figure out what you like as your favorite sauce and just take it from there and save all kinds of money, and you don't have to go driving all over the place looking for special deals. Who cares? They're a side item. There's another 8 minutes to this boredom, and there's nothing left funny. So let's just fast forward through it to show disrespect for Julia's horrible efforts and terrible camera work from Truslayer. And she says something stupid about the dog, and then she wraps up. So let's just fast forward really fast through all the rest of it, except for those two little moments. Go!
Munchie, are you drooling? Or where you get all the treats? If you
Munchie, are you drooling? Don't worry, you get all the treats. That animal, it's so hungry. It just wants treats. Oh, you get all the treats. Do you want this? Don't worry, you get the treats. Oh, you get all the treats. Oh, let me tell you, if you think that she isn't spoiled, trust me, she is. Could you be any more uncool? I mean, we need like a guy hanging out with a dog. You know, treats it like a real friend. You're treating that dog like it's a cat. And even the cat would be, like, indifferent towards you. See, the cat wouldn't put on a performance. The cat would be like, I don't give an F what you do. And so you got Munchie there who's taking an interest, and you're just, let's just, we got one more moment to get rid of, then this piece of garbage is done.
think that this girl's not spoiled, trust me. It's sealed. Let's open it up. Got some celery sticks.
Do you really consider yourselves to be professional? And this now goes for the two of you, because you squawk a lot about how others do things. Do you consider yourselves to be professional with camera work such as this? That material is less than hobbyist level. Okay, I said I was going to get rid of this garbage. Let's do it.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It looks like a similar amount of chicken. What restaurant do you want me to dive into? Be a dive bar. I could actually go swimming into a restaurant.
Do you know what she said there? What restaurants do you want me to dive into? It could be a dive bar. I could actually swim into a restaurant. That doesn't make sense, and it's not funny either. This is not healthy junk food. This is, you know, an idiot in pajamas just babbling while the camera's turned on. In the dark. And she's done.
Once you go black.